Testing. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Christina.
How are you? Oh, I think I can't. Oh, give me a second.
Just the two of us?
It looks like it.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair, not a lot of people signed up, so I think it's fine. We can still do the quick presentation and then record it and put it on YouTube. So
Super. Okay, yep. I'll go for that.
awesome, awesome. So let me share my screen. Mm, and so this is a really um, asked for tutorial or really asked for page that I get asked by clients to create a lot. And essentially, most of them utilize the social media platform Instagram for their businesses, myself included. So if you notice here in Instagram, you can actually have a page link out from your profile. And for me, I use this page on my Divi website to link to number one, I have a photo and link to some of my affiliate products, my email list, my website, and my portfolio. So there is a very popular platform called Linktree that does the exact same thing. However, they charge to do the exact same thing, and they don't allow you to customize. You can't put any video links. You can't put your logo, etc., etc. And as you already know, when you have full control over something, especially in WordPress, you can do as much as you like. So if we were to go to my main website right now, ChristinaGwira.com, firstly, over here, I have my photo. I have a custom font with custom spacing. I have my buttons, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, more than 10 buttons on my link tree. And it matches up with the colors and the branding of my main website. So what I'm going to teach today is how to make your own link tree using Divi and the Divi builder. And it's a very simple process, but it's something that allows you to have a permanent page on your website to be able to link to various products. So like I mentioned here, not only do I have links to my own products, I have links to affiliate products, which can help me make an additional revenue stream. I have links to my YouTube channel. I have links to my email list. And with a link tree, you don't get as many links, but also you don't have as much control over the way everything looks. So that is what we're going to be building today. Any questions thus far?
Could you just go back over how you get to it from Instagram? How do you set up
Sure.
Instagram?
So you have an if one were to have an Instagram account, you have a link in bio. That's what is typically or traditionally called. Or on a Facebook page is another example. I'm going to put my Facebook page. You can set up a link directly onto your Facebook page that will go to somewhere on your website. So this is my Facebook page. And if you notice, I have my website link.
Okay. So
But
Instagram allows you to set something like that up.
yeah, so Instagram allows you to have a link out of Instagram to another website.
Okay. Thank you.
And Facebook allows the same thing. And a majority of other social networks allow the same thing. So I know Twitter has it. I know that Instagram has it. I know that Facebook has it. I know Pinterest has it. So quite a few social networks allow you to be able to link out. And what I typically do and what I found to be really helpful is to be able to have basically all of my digital properties in one spot and in one place on this Linktree page.
Okay. So this is just
So
a page set up on your website called links. Okay.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah. So, and also if I want to send someone somewhere and I don't want to have this whole big multiple pages, they can come here and I literally say, if you want to buy my Instagram template, press the first button. Or if you want to go to my YouTube channel, press the second button. So it makes it very easy and convenient for people to be able to learn everything about me on one simple page.
Got it. Okay. Great.
Awesome. So we first start off by logging into the WordPress backend, and we're going to create a brand new page. Hey, Charles, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And so we're going to give the page a name. So let's say links.
Thank you.
And we're going to, under page attributes, we are going to select not the default template, because if you notice, this page doesn't have a header and it doesn't have a footer. So that's super duper important, because for a link tree, we want to make sure that people are able to get right to our stuff as soon as possible. So we're going to select under page attributes, we're going to select the template blank page. Next, we're going to enable the Divi builder. But before we do that, what I'm going to do is publish this page. So we're going to do that first so that we have a template set up. And notice the permalink. That's pretty important, because this permalink is what's going to go on our Instagram. It's what's going to go on our Facebook page. It's what's going to go on our Twitter. So I like to make it something short and easy to remember. So I've called mine links. Some people call theirs link trees. Some people call them whatever you want to call it. So we're just going to say, let's just say social, because this page is going to be used specifically for social media. So once that's done, we're going to click use the Divi builder, and that will enable the builder for us. I think I'm using an older version of Divi right now, I'm not sure. And so we're going to wait for the builder to load. So we're going to pretend, we're going to ignore the fact that I already have this page set up. So we're going to click build from scratch, and we're going to start building. So the first thing we have is this section. So if we go back to this, the original template, you notice I have a photo of myself, I have my social media handle, and I have a little bit of text explaining what this page is for and what it does. So we're going to follow a similar format. So we're going to click and add a new row. And everything here on a link tree is typically in one row / column. And the reason for that is because we want to optimize this page to be super awesome for mobile. It's very, very important that this page is super and highly mobile optimized, because most people will be accessing this page from their phone. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add an image module. And I'm going to pick up my image from my media gallery. So let's go through, and here's one, and we're going to upload that image. Next, we can add a bit of text.
This is like a call to action, right?
Exactly. So here we can do whatever we can do and say whatever we like. So let's just say we're going to do, welcome to my page, learn more about me. And then maybe let's do something a little bit different from this template. Let's add links to our social media. So see here, and let's add my Facebook. And then let's add my Instagram. Let's add my LinkedIn, if I remember the link. Instagram. I will just leave that as that. So now we've created the first row of this page. So we have the image, we have the text, and we have the social media icons. So the first thing we notice is that this image is way too large. So we're going to reduce that by clicking on module settings, going into design, clicking sizing, and bringing the width down to 25% or 24%. So that looks a bit better. Let's actually bring it down to 20, because again, we're optimizing this for mobile. So we want to make sure that we have our main call to actions above the fold, especially from a cell phone. Next, we're going to align this module by clicking module alignment. So it's centered, as you can see. And then we're going to do the same for this text over here. So the first line of text, we're going to go module settings, design, and we're going to center the text over here. And we're going to go back in again and center the social media icons, design, alignment, module alignment, center, and enter. So right now we have the main social media call to actions right at the top of this screen. And we're going to save and see what this looks like on the front end. So we're going to go open a new tab, christinagwira.com/social. And so far we have the face icon, we have a call to action, and we have some social media links.
Christina,
Yes.
how does the little Pinterest sticker get on there?
So
when you mouse over.
You can add, I think there's like 11 or so social networks in the social media follow module.
But it's already on yours. When you mouse over your image, your picture,
okay. So that's a Chrome app that I have. Let me see if I can grab the name for you. Let's see. So this extension is called the Pinterest Save Button extension.
Ah, okay, thank you.
So I have that for Chrome. I'm just gonna pull up the chat and drop it in there just in case. That allows me to add any image I see on the web to my Pinterest board.
Got it.
Okay, so now we've created the header. We're gonna add our very first button. So we're gonna go back, and what I like to do to keep everything organized is I like to have a row for every single button. I find that it keeps things very organized, especially when we get to the later stages where we need to adjust the padding. So we're gonna click add a new section button. We're gonna add a regular section. We're going to add a 1-column row, and we're going to go in again and add a button. So now let's say on the button, we want to say, visit my YouTube channel. And then the link, we're going to link to and the link target, you want to keep it in the same window because you don't want it to be that when someone goes onto your link tree, they're opening multiple tabs. So we want them to be able to stay in the same window, and then we click the check mark.
That way, if they close it when they're done, it goes back to your web page, right?
Right. If we were to open a new tab, then it will do that.
Yeah. We got
then we're going to click update, and we're going to go back to the front end, refresh. And now we have our regular button. However, if we were to put this on mobile, this would not be really good. Why? Number one, the button is too small. Number two, there's too much white space between the social media link and the button. So let's go in and fix that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to remove all the padding and margins from the section. So we're going to click on the section gear and then design. And then we're going to go into sizing. So firstly, we're going to click the section alignment to middle because we want the button to be aligned centrally. We're going to click on spacing. And what I like to do is I like to link up the spacing because I just find it's easier to do. And we're going to set the margin to 0 on the top and the bottom, and the padding to 0 at the top and the bottom as well.
Because it's not 0 by default, is it?
No, it's not. So I think by default it's between 15 to 25. I'm not really sure.
I just learned that.
Then we're going to do the exact same thing to the row. We're going to click on the settings button, design, spacing. We're going to link up the top and the bottom for the margin And the padding, we're going to make it 0 and then 0 one more time. And then we're going to accept that. So let's just take a peek at how we're faring so far. So notice the space has decreased exponentially. But here, for the main header, there's still quite a lot of space. So let's do the same thing up here. So we're going to click on Edit, Design, Spacing. We're going to lock the top and bottom margin and padding, set it to 0, accept, and voila, everything has moved up quite drastically. I'm quite happy with the spacing. So we're now going to elongate this button so that it stretches from cover to cover and fills up the entire row. So to do that, we're going to edit the button and click on Design. We're going to make the alignment center. That makes it more optimal for mobile. And for this page, we're designing mobile first because this page is going to be used mostly by mobile phone users. Next, we are going to increase the text size. So we're going to click Use Custom Styles for Button, and we're going to greatly reduce the text size. But even for here, you need to manage it. Again, mobile responsiveness is quite important. That's the first part over there. Next, spacing. We're going to leave that as it is for now. Double checking everything here. Because I'm using the default Divi button, it's going to have exactly the colors and the fonts that I'm using for my brand anyway. Just to double check here. Great. So now let's update the page and see how far we've come. So before, this is what the page used to look like. We had a lot of space at the top, had a lot of space between the social media icon and the button. And now we're looking more and more like the original. So we've got the header photo, we've got the call to action, we've got the social media icons, we've got the button, and the button goes to YouTube as it should. So we're making some progress. So I'm really happy about the padding and the spacing. And now what's really important is seeing how it looks on your cell phone. So what I'd like everyone to do is grab their phones, if they have it nearby, and go to ChristinaGwira.com/social and share your thoughts on how it's looking on your mobile phone. So ChristinaGwira.com/social. So you can just unmute yourself and let us know what you think so far or what can be improved.
Okay, so instead of the bar that we're seeing on the full widescreen,
Yeah,
there's a big square there.
perfect. Good. Glad for pointing that out.
Three lines of text.
Excellent, excellent. We're gonna fix that, but it's good you noticed that. Charles, what about you? What did you notice on your phone? If you could unmute yourself, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm seeing exactly the same thing. Where the green square is gigantic, it's actually, and I'm sure we're gonna, like you said, fix that so that it's not taking up that much of the page.
Yes, yes, indeed. So even though on desktop, it looks fine, it looks okay, because desktop screens are miles bigger, we need to now go into the mobile responsiveness and make sure that this page is optimized for mobile. So Let's go ahead and do that. So to do that, we're going to go back into the button. I'm going to click on settings, design, button, and this is where now we're going to click on next to button text size. There are 4 little circle buttons that pop up. We're going to click on the phone. And this is also where it's good to have the actual page show up as a phone on the front end. So here, even on desktop, as I'm building this out, it's showing it on 2 lines, but we need to get it all the way down to 1 line. So we're going to reduce the button text size from 36. It looks like 27 is a keeper, but let's go down a little bit more to 24. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put in a very cute line, single line of CSS to ensure that the button stretches from one edge of the screen to the other edge of the screen with some padding. So we're going to click on Advanced and then Custom CSS. And we want to go down to Main Element. And here's the single line of code we're going to write for this entire situation. Width, colon, 100%, semicolon. And notice just by adding that single line, the width of the button stretches from the beginning of welcome right to the other end, making it much more mobile friendly. So we're going to go back to design and see what the page will look like on a tablet. So we're going to go back, we're going to click button, we're going to go to tablet, and it seems like 35 seems to be doing okay. I'm going to bump it up just a little bit to 36. And we're going to come back to desktop, again, bump it up to 36. So we have the button stretch from edge to edge with a little bit of padding around there so that it can breathe. On tablet, the same. On a phone, the same. So we're going to accept this. We're going to update the page, and let's bring out our phones again and see. For me, if you can see, you see I still have the button on the 3 lines. So I'm going to refresh my page now. And this is what we now have on my cell phone. So y'all check as well on your phones and you let me know. So is yours still showing on 2 lines?
Yep, it is. Yeah.
Mine too.
Okay, so we're going to do a little bit more tweaking. So let's see what happens if we bring it all the way down to, let's say, 21. An update. Let's see what you guys see.
Bingo.
All right. So mine, not much of a difference, not much of a change, but it is still on 1 line.
Cool.
Awesome. And so now what happens next is you will simply duplicate this row for however many menu items you wanted to have on your link tree. So, but it looks like we have a problem. Can anyone tell me what the problem is? I'm duplicating it. I have several buttons. What is the problem that's happening here now?
You're not duplicating the attributes of the button?
Close. Charles, you want to take a stab at it? What is wrong with, I've duplicated it. We checked it out on our cell phones. It showed up great. And
Looks
now
like you're duplicating sections instead of the module.
Okay. So, sorry, y'all both are wrong. The problem here is the padding. If you notice, all the buttons are one on top of the other.
Right.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, okay. I thought you were going to still do that, okay.
So we need to fix that, not for the first one, but for every subsequent button.
Right.
We're going to go and edit the section. And we're going to go to the design tab, spacing. And here now, we're going to still check the margin, but we're going to add a bit to it.
So Christina, here's a newbie question. Padding is the space between one module and the next. Is that correct? Between modules.
Yes and no. So I would say what would be more accurate would be padding is the space between one module and the next. Sorry, margins is the spacing between one module and the next. And padding is the spacing within the module.
So you're increasing margin.
Right. Because
Okay.
I want the padding of the button to remain the same, but I want the space around the button to increase. So that's why I'm increasing the margin. But
Thank
in
you.
Divi, by default, it adds a value to both the margin and the padding. So when you play around with both of those values, that's when you have something like this, where you just need to align the margin, but leave the padding alone in this situation. So that feels a bit close to me. So I'm gonna see what happens if I bring it up to 10. Yeah, I think I like 15 better. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the spacing. So right click on spacing, copy spacing styles. What is going on? Okay. Accept, and I'm going to paste it on the subsequent section. So this is the second section, so I'm going to paste this on the third section. Paste spacing styles, and I paste it on the fourth section. Paste spacing styles.
I didn't realize you could just paste a single attribute like spacing.
Yep, I use it a lot. Another thing that if I was wanting everything to be the exact same, I love to use the extend option as well. But in this particular case, I'm just going to stick to copying and pasting. So now we're going to update. And let's bring out our cell phones and let's see what we are working with. So our past iteration was just the one button. And now we're going to refresh the page. And you guys tell me what you see.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah.
Spacing looks great. Yeah.
Awesome. Likewise over here. So with this now, I've always wanted on my original one, I've always wanted to have my logo at the bottom because I feel like there's none of my actual branding there apart from my face. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to add some additional stuff to it. So we're good with the buttons. And let's see what happens if we duplicate this now. So notice the padding, the margin came with it. So we can have as many buttons as we like, and the padding remains awesome. So now I'm gonna add a final footer column, or footer row, as they say. And for this footer, I'm gonna just add my logo. So I'm gonna search for an image module. And I'm gonna pick my logo. I have like so many photos in here. Let's see. Where is my logo? Well, that's interesting. I don't have, where is my logo? Do I not have my logo? Okay, my logo is in white. Which is
Growing a service business is hard, but worky's easy.
What I will do is I will use my company logo. Not ideal, not the same brand, but okay, that's what we have right now. And I'm gonna go to design, alignment, and center it. And again, you see that there's this whole bunch of padding around there, and then there's this whole bunch of padding around the section. So we're gonna go here into the row, we're gonna edit it, and we're gonna take all of that padding away. So we're gonna lock both of those up. That didn't seem to make much of a difference. So let's see if I did it right here. So let's actually go into the column now because we're gonna get a bit granular. And let's reduce the padding in here. And then let's go to this actual section. No, layout. Let's do, again, reduce the padding a little bit, or reduce the margin a little bit. Okay, seems we're getting close. And let's see what's happening right around the image itself. Because that could also be an area where there's a lot of. So here, notice under spacing, it says show space below the image. So let's take that off. Let's see what happens if we do here and here. So it looks like this is as slim as it's gonna let me go, which is fine because we do need some space between the last button and the logo anyway. So we're gonna update this. And then
So I hate to be a pest, but what do you think it is that's keeping that space there? Because I'm having a similar problem with something on one of my websites.
you know, that's a great question. At this time, I'm not sure, but especially since I've reduced the spacing on every level. So I've done it on the image, I've done it on the column, I've done it on the row. So I'm actually not sure what would be causing that problem. But let's refresh over here, see what we're looking like. So we have our links, and I'll take it. So this is what we created during today's session. So we added a couple of more modules than what's in the original. The original being here. So the original had my photo, my tab. This one has my photo, and then social media icons. We still had some buttons over here. There wasn't any logo at the bottom of this one, but on the one we made today, we added a logo to the bottom. So that's my tutorial on how you can build your own link tree on your website using Divi. Any questions thus far?
Just gotta say, I love that the technique you use of having us look at it on our phones as we go along. That's cool.
Yeah, that was a good. Yeah, that was very.
Yeah, it's really necessary. Like whenever I'm actually building for clients, I have my phone nearby because it's very, very important to see what the work actually looks like on a mobile device. And even if you notice, there was 3 people on this call, but all of us had at one point in time, what I was seeing was different than what you both were seeing.
Yeah.
So it's very important to have an actual phone nearby. There are simulators out there, but in my family, everybody has a different phone. And so it's very easy to be like, hey, can you go to like this website so you can let me know what it looks like? And you can tweak it. And that's one thing I really love about Divi, how you can really tweak the mobile settings, the tablet, the desktop, so that it looks really well.
I've seen websites where the mobile version is entirely different from the desktop version.
Yeah. So I find that's something a lot of people ask me about Divi because it's responsive, things stack. So it's something that people who aren't really designers or developers, they're not familiar, they want it to look exactly the same, but it's not possible. So I'll actually give you a live example of this actually. On a website I'm building right now for a client. And she was kind of like, she loves the site on desktop, but she's like, can you make it look the same on mobile? And it's just like, it won't really translate well. No. So the number one thing I did differently on this site is that on desktop, it has a different hero section than on mobile. So I'm actually going to see if I can simply make my Chrome screen smaller.
Or we can call it up on our phones.
Yeah, but even here, if you notice, so this is the tablet preview, and the hero section has changed considerably. Yeah. And then when we change the viewport further, the image at the background changes completely to match a smaller viewport.
Right on.
So the concept for for mobile, tablet, and desktop is totally different, so that the viewing experience for the user is better. And so really love how the main reason why I switched to Divi full time for all of my client projects was because I really liked how it handled mobile responsiveness.
Yeah, I use a plugin called Divi Responsive Helper.
Okay.
And what you can do is you can actually you can set like different, just like how we had those 3 different phones. You can actually see how it will look on different sizes. You can actually put the dimensions that you want, and so I can look at toggle to the phone, but I can see how it can look on like 3 different types of phones.
Excellent. So can you
Just by
actually go
clicking.
in and select maybe iPhone 8 or maybe iPhone? Can you actually go that far?
No, it's more about the dimensions. So it's not
Okay.
so much about the phone style. Now, if you already know what they are, then you can input those numbers. So you have
So it's
control
doing
over.
it based on the viewports then.
Yes.
Excellent. That's really
Yeah,
good.
and it's not expensive either. It's
Is it a
called Divi.
premium plugin?
I'm sorry.
Is it a premium plugin?
Like, do you have to pay for it? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But it's I don't think it's, I think it maybe costs let me see, but I got it from a guy from it's called I don't know how to pronounce this. It's PEEAYE creative.com. It's PEEAYE creative.com.
Cool. Let me put that in.
He's great. I've even had a conversation with him.
Thanks, Charles.
Yeah, it helps me it has really helped me a lot, so that you can see the different sizes. PEEAYE creative.com. And plug in responsive helper is, let's see, how much is it? I can't see I don't see the price right here.
So in Chrome, there's also the inspector,
Yes.
Yeah.
which can do a similar kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Yeah. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
It's
So
$35. Yeah.
good to know. Thank you so much for sharing, Charles. Really appreciate
Sure.
it. So we have to do our obligatory screenshot for the Divi group.
Wait,
So everybody put on your smiles. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Like, you have the black Santa Claus and the white Santa Claus. What's going on with that?
Love it. Awesome. Let me see if I got a good shot. Let me see. Awesome. I got everybody mid-laugh. That makes me super happy. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you go early, but thank you so much for joining me on this tutorial. So the recording will be made available tomorrow. So if you do want to come back and check it out, you simply go to ChristinaGwira.com/meetup, and all the recordings from June going forward are live there. So tomorrow I will post up the WordPress meetup as well as the Divi meetup. And I don't think there were any meeting notes. If there are any, I'll also upload those as well so that you can run through them.
Is your New York meetup there, the one you did in New York?
Yes, that is there as well as the code from that as well if you want to download it.
Super. Good. I have trouble finding the link. I went through all my emails I got from you over the past couple of days, and I could not find the Zoom link in any of them. So I don't know what's.
Yeah, I do apologize about that. Meetup kind of changed their formatting, so they've allowed it in such a way where you can actually put the link directly in the event. So when someone comes to the event page, they can click on it and it will open the app. So I've been using that because I don't want to forget sending out a message to everyone. Yeah. But going forward, I'll definitely make it a better point to actually send the link out as well through the messaging system.
Okay.
And yeah, but thank you so much for your time. And if you have any questions, as always, I'm available via email, or you can check out the replays as well, or connect with me over on Twitter or on social media. So have a great evening, enjoy your dinner, and I will see you next month.
Thanks, Christina. Appreciate it.
You're
That was
welcome.
great.
Thank you.
Bye, Jim. Bye, Charles.
Bye-bye.